For over 140 years, Worcester Cathedral Voluntary Choir has been training boys and gentlemen in the art of choral singing. Worcester is unique among English cathedrals in having the only voluntary choir made up of men and boys.
The voluntary choir is an amazing institution. It's been going for 140 years here in Worcester. It's one of the oldest voluntary choirs in the country, and it feeds into a tradition of singing services here that goes back hundreds and hundreds of years. So it's an amazing thing for people to be able to join in with.
Voluntary, or Sunday evening choirs, were so called in order to distinguish them from the bodies of foundation choristers and professional singers, whose task is to sing at the regular services in cathedrals and collegiate churches. They owe their origin to the popular Sunday evening services, which began to be held in such places during the middle part of the 19th century. The movement began in London and was soon to be followed in other cities, notably in Worcester.
I joined by our old choir master coming around to my school and giving out leaflets and doing a come and sing thing. So I joined that way, and then I really enjoyed it the first time I came, so I carried on.
I think a lot of men and boys who have been in the choir have then gone on to have very successful musical careers, so that gives the boys inspiration.
I owe a lot to the voluntary choir. It started my interest in choral music, and since then I have been organ scholar at King's College, Cambridge, and at Lincoln Cathedral, and spent 16 years in the music department at the Temple Church in London.
I'm currently in my 26th year of doing the job that I've been doing, which is writing for TV, music and video games. One day I got a call from the BBC, and they had a new quiz show they were making, and I composed the music for that, and that became The Weakest Link. Since then I've written the music for shows like Dancing on Ice, The Jerry Springer Show, The Chase, which is on ITV. And it's incredible. I love my job. I still consider that I'm one of the luckiest people in the world to do what I do, and I'm very, very lucky that I had a great start with the choir.
The boys range in age from 6 to 14 and come from a wide variety of schools and backgrounds. The gentlemen, similarly, travel from all corners of Worcestershire and beyond, and range from teenagers to long-serving and experienced singers.
I think it's great how all the boys come from different schools around the city. They're all given the opportunity to come together. There's a good mixture of age and different backgrounds there. And I think they all work together to bring the best out in each other. The older ones supported the younger ones. So I think that sense of community that they build between them is brilliant.
Being in the choir is completely free. Obviously there's time involved, but in terms of cost, other than the occasional trip, there isn't any cost involved.
We get paid, and you can either save up your money for something bigger, or you can spend it on something less expensive, but something you've been wanting.
The boys rehearse on Tuesday and Friday evenings, and the gentlemen join them on Fridays. The choir normally sings an evening service on Sunday, but also participates in special services and concerts, sometimes joining with the cathedral choir, and making occasional appearances at the world-famous Three Choirs Festival. They've recorded a CD with the title Be Thou My Vision.
So every year we sing at the start of the Victorian Christmas Fair. First we go through a procession to the Guildhall where we sing on the steps.
And then when we go to the corn market and sing some carols in front of the mayor and all of the twin towns from important people from Germany.
And we sing with the Salvation Army band, and we get to go on the first ride on the merry-go-round with all the mayor and all the important people.
My husband and I always come to every service that Alex is involved in, and it's become a very important part of our lives now. Whilst the whole commitment was very daunting to begin with, we positively look forward to the service on Sunday evening now.
I enjoy singing in the space because it's kind of quite historic and important in people's lives.
It's got such a great atmosphere in here. Yeah. We feel very privileged just to sing in this place.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
I would say it's really down to my time here, my 12 years here, that I've gained such a strong interest in music, especially music that if I hadn't have come here, I wouldn't know about church music and choral music. It's something which I think will stay with me for the rest of my life. I don't think I would have encountered any of it if I hadn't have sang here.
Over the years, the voluntary choir has enjoyed many tours abroad, including trips to Paris and Belgium.
First of all, we went to Worcester's twin town of Claver, and since then we've been to Paris and have sung at High Mass at Notre Dame on a Sunday to a congregation of just over 2,000, where we had standing ovation as we processed out of the cathedral. Since then we've been to Belgium twice, all very worthwhile events, an exercise in getting the boys used to travelling and singing in different places.
The choir enjoys an active social life. There are events such as days out in London, bowling and cinema outings, and parties and barbecues for gentlemen and families. Parents often catch up with each other while the choir rehearses.
The trip to Fortnum and Mason in London was fantastic. It was a really good opportunity for the boys to do something that they wouldn't ordinarily have a chance to do. I accompanied the children with several other parents. We had great fun ice skating, although I didn't actually take part in that. The boys had a lovely time at the fair around Hyde Park, and we also had the opportunity for people to come and see them at Fortnum's, friends and family who live in London, and that was fantastic.
The ice skating was really good. I did fall over quite a lot.
The choristers are trained to be proficient and confident musicians and to perform to a professional standard while taking part in the wonderful English choral tradition. They learn to work together as a team and develop skills that will help them at school and in their future lives.
It is quite nerve-wracking. From what I remember, I was quite worried my first service, but just get it over with. You don't go straight into services. You get put through your paces and get trained.
As parents, it's been really pleasing for us to see him develop. Certainly, it's helped him focus at school and academically, and he's always been very committed to the choir, which sort of surprised us really. We didn't realise that being in a cathedral choir would be quite as cool as the boys seem to think it is. So it's been nothing but a good thing for James, I would say.
Singing is incredibly important for young people. It brings people together. It gives them the skills of team building, of self-motivation, as well as the obvious musical skills. It also is self-affirming and nourishing, and it exposes young people to an incredible repertoire that is unique to this country, and that is very important. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for my time here in the voluntary choir.
One of the great things about being in the choir is that it teaches you how rewarding it can be to be part of something that's bigger than you. And that idea of, rehearsing, knowing your parts, showing up on time, focusing on the conductor, taking instruction, hearing what you're doing and how it relates to other people, and battling nerves and understanding about the idea of hitting your marks and being when they say at a certain time, and following instructions. The discipline side of things has been really useful for me. It showed me early on about the joy of performing live.
He has really enjoyed the whole experience, the opportunities it's offered to him. I can't envisage him not singing.
If anyone was going to join the voluntary choir, my advice to them would be come along, see if you enjoy it, have a few practices, and if you really don't like it, just leave it. But if you do, I definitely recommend carry on, because we go on loads of trips and we have a great time.